Hello guys, my name is JM Kyle and today I asked ChatGPT to, to tell about the story about Snow White and the seven dwarfs but scary version because I want to read the uh, story but even more scary. And right now I'm all alone in my room with the lights out. So let's read. Okay. Once upon a time, in a kingdom blanketed by endless winter, there lived a princess named Snow White, whose skin was pale as moonlight, her lips as dark as frozen blood. Does it sound scary to you guys? Oh, this is part of the regular story. And whole hair like the night itself. Her stepmother, the queen, was obsessed with beauty, but this time she turned to forbidden magic. Oh, that's pretty scary. Not gonna lie. Her mirror did not just reflect appearances. It whispered secrets, truths that gnawed at the heart. Snow White, it hissed. Her beauty will outshine yours. You cannot allow her to live. Driven by the mirror's dark urgings, the queen sent a huntsman into the forest. But this was no ordinary forest. The trees creaked like bones. Ooh, I don't like the sound of bones creaking. It sounds like this. Scary, right? The fog twisted into faces. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Maybe this was a bad choice. And the wind carried whispers of the lost source. The huntsman found Snow White and he waved his knife. But the princess, with a gaze cold as ice, pleaded, "Spare me, and I will show you horrors greater than any blade." Terrified, the huntsman fled, leaving her to wander deeper into the coast woods. Night fell like a shroud, and she stumbled upon a crooked little cottage where seven dwarfs dwelled, but these were no ordinary miners. Huh? Each dwarf is twisted by a curse? Well, maybe this was a really bad choice. Grim. Oh my gosh, they got he Chat GPT. You give uh, all the dwarfs new scarier names. Grim, Grim, whose hammer stuck without sound, but whose blows left echoes in the mind. Shiver, who never felt warm, and whose touch touch turned hearts into frost. Snarl, who spoke only lies that became real at midnight. Hollow, whose eyes saw into the darkest fears of anyone he gazed upon. Okay, this is getting really creepy, I'm not gonna lie. Craven, who collected shadows and whispered secrets to them. Wait, my secret is. Sorry, I'm not gonna say that because it's very embarrassing. Festo, whose laugh could what wood and metal. And the last one is Gloom, who never left the cellar, yet the screams from below haunted the walls. Yet Snow White, desperate for shelter, begged them to let her stay. But the dwarfs, each a phantom of course, sensed the queen's magic trailing her. She is coming. Wait, I should say it in an spooky voice, more spooky, because the new dwarfs' names are very scary. She is coming, Hollow murmured, his gaze piercing her soul. He and come she did. The queen, dis, the queen, disguised as disguised in a tattered cloak, arrived bearing gifts that were traps of dark enchantment. A comb, a comb that la lacered weighted hair into weaving serpents. A poisoned apple that made the eaters see their own death hundreds of times before the final bite. Snow White, wary of their sinister touch, sensed the trap, but curiosity and dread mingled, and the apple's red skin gleamed like blood in the snow. The bite sensed sent her into a sleep not of dreams, but of visions in her mind. The forest became alive. The dwarfs became monsters, and the queen's laughter crawled under her skin. The dwarfs, bound by some ancient code, in encased her in a glass coffin, but not for mourning. No, oh, but for protection of from the endless horrors leaking from the queen's magic. Time passed, and a prince arrived, not brave, not kind, but foolish and cruel. Drowned by chaos, of beauty. He ignored the dwarf's warning and kissed Snow White. Yet kiss, this kiss did not wake Ho. Instead, it shadowed the coffin, releasing Ho trapped, feel, and waged into the world. The forest screamed. The dwarfs twisted into their most monstrous forms, and the queen vanished into the shadows, never to never never to return, but not gone entirely. Snow White rose, no longer the innocent princess. She became the mistress of the haunted woods, a figure both feared and reveled, reveled, reveled. The dwarfs, now whole protectors and whole terrors, roamed the forest, punishing those who dared enter, and the kingdom it whispered of her beauty, yes, but also the nightmarish power that now lingered wherever snow fell. The end, or perhaps the beginning of something far darker. Okay, the end of the story. In the end of the story, ChatGPT's ChatGPT said, "If you want, I can also write a short, even scarier version meant to feel like a horror movie script full of jump scares and creepy imagery. That one would make this version feel almost cozy in comparison. Do you want me to do that?" "Yes, but I want to make the story of the little mermaid but scary." Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lights back on. Now the lights are on. On. See you in the next video. Bye.